Probably wonder why when you try to stop doing a bad habit that you've been doing for a while, or like you try to stay consistent at a new activity you're gonna do, but every time it looks like you're making progress, you just slip back to your old self, the old you. From then on, just a cycle of you trying to stay consistent and keep going back to this old self you that's not consistent. You keep going back and forth, it's just not working. And the way you can fix that is by making a new identity for yourself. Let me give you a quick example, alright? Let's say there's a skinny video gamer who all he does is play video games, right? Nothing else, right? Then he starts to hit the gym, eat clean, but after a week of hitting the gym, he just stopped. You wanna know why? It's because he still had the identity of a skinny video gamer. He tried to do something only an athlete could do, whilst he still saw himself as a video gamer. This could apply to anything beside a video game. Like you see yourself as a clumsy person, or like just a person that forget things, like you're forgetful. Your identity is formed out of the habits that you do. You aren't born with the belief you have right now. Every belief you have about everything, including yourself, is learned through experience. And to be more specific, your habits are what shape your identity. When you make your bed each day, your identity is shaped to be an organized person. When you draw each day, your identity is shaped to be a creative person. When you physically train each day, your identity is shaped to be an athletic person. The more you do a behavior, the more reinforcement you get to being that identity, to create that identity for yourself. The more you do a behavior, the more your identity is associated with that behavior. And in fact, if you didn't notice, like let me put you on real quick. Identity derived from the Latin word essentita, which means being, and identidem being repeatedly. Your identity is literally your repeated beingness. Whatever you do on a daily basis is your being. That's you. Whatever your identity is right now, whatever you are, like you think you're a strong person, a weak person, a timid dude, that's because you have proof of it. If you think you're a timid, weak dude, that's because you probably got bullied before. That right there is proof. If you go to church every single Sunday for 20 years, that's proof right there that you're a religious person, you're a Christian. If you study biology every night, that's evidence that you're a studious or like to study. If you go to the gym even when it's snowing, that means you're a gym rat. The more evidence you have to an identity, the more you believe it. For most of my life, I've never saw myself being on camera and influencing people. If you ask anyone around me, they would say I used to be an antisocial dude. When I began creating fitness content, like I post once a week for like a few months. As evidence grew, so did my identity as a fitness influencer grew. I never started as a fitness influencer. I became one through my habit of posting consistently. And obviously your habits are not like the only thing that like influences your identity, but how frequent you do them is what's important. Each experience you have in life modifies your self-image, but it's unlikely you call yourself an MMA fighter just because you ran 30s with a kid in your school bathroom, or a gym bro just because you decide to go to the gym for the first time in 6 months. As you repeat doing those actions, the evidence builds up to that identity, and that's when your self-image begins to change. The effects of habit takes time to reinforce, but the effect of habit is reinforced through time, which means that your habit contributes to most of the evidence that builds up your identity. And if you put it this way, the process of building habit is the process of building yourself. You don't change by snapping our finger and deciding to be somebody else. We change little by little, day by day, habit by habit. We just keep going through micro evolutions of ourselves, alright? Each habit that you're doing right now while you're watching this video is a suggestion to yourself. Like, hey, maybe this is who I am. Like, if you finish this video, you're not the type of person that have short attention span. Like, if you go to the gym, you're the type of person that like fitness and like to look good. If you like to practice playing the guitar, maybe you like music. Every action you do right now is a vote to the type of person you want to become. Your beliefs will not transform like this, but as the votes build up, so does the evidence of your new identity. This is one reason why meaningful change doesn't need radical change. Small habits can make a meaningful difference, providing evidence of new habits. And if a change that you made is really meaningful, then that means it's actually big. That's the crazy thing about making small improvements. Each time you throw a jab at the punching bag or do jump ropes, you're a boxer. Each time you practice the violin, you're a musician. Each time you start a workout, you're an athlete. Each time you encourage your friends, you're a leader. You just don't get results from habits, but habits also teach you something way more important: to trust yourself. You start believing you can actually accomplish something. When the votes keep adding up, the evidence starts to change, and the story you tell yourself begins to change as well. And yeah, of course it works the opposite way too. Every time you decide to do a bad habit, the votes adding up to that identity. But the good news is that you don't need to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. Like in any election, there's gonna be votes for both sides of the candidate. You don't need all the votes to win an election. You just need the majority. It doesn't matter if you cast a few votes on a bad behavior and a productive behavior. The goal is just to win the majority of the time. So doing the good habit the majority of the time. New identities require new evidence. If you keep putting the same votes that you've been putting, you're gonna get the same results that you've always had. If nothing changes, nothing's gonna change. This is the actionable step right here, 2-step right here, right? That you can implement to really become who you want to be. First, decide who you really want to be, either as an individual, a team, a community, whatever. What do you want to stand for or represent? What are your principles and what do you value? Who do you want to become? These are big questions, alright? And a lot of people don't know what to start, but they do know what kind of results they want. They want to get that six-pack abs, or to make more money, feel less anxious. That's fine. You can start from there and work back from the results that you want to achieve. Like literally ask yourself, who's the type of person that could get the outcome that I really want? Who's the type of person that could lose 40 pounds? Who's the type of person that could learn a new language? Who's the type of person that could run a successful startup business? Like me, for example, who's the type of person that can influence someone to start hitting the gym and self-improving, right? Well, it's probably someone that's encouraging and consistent. Now my focus shift from becoming a fitness influencer because that's outcome based. I want to be the type of person that's consistent and encouraging, and that is identity based. Someone that's encouraging and consistent. Identity. This process can lead to beliefs like, I'm the type of person that encourages my friends to do better. I'm the kind of brother who looks after a sibling. Once you've decided on who you want to be, you can start taking small steps to reinforcing your desired identity. You're trying to lose weight, use this question as a guide. Would a healthy person take a cab or walk? Would a healthy person order a burrito or salad? If you act like a healthy person long enough, eventually you'll become that healthy person. Your habits shape your identity and your identity shape your habits. Your focus should always be being the type of person not getting a particular outcome. If I put this all together, you see that habits are the path to making a new identity. The most practical way to change who you are is to change what you do. If this video helped you anyway, make sure you share this to someone who needs it, because I could help them too. Alright, be considerate. If you want to have a talk with me on my one-on-one coaching, you can like press that first link in the description. HoliFit is just a platform where we can talk one-on-one. Alright, after you're done, it'll send you a confirmation, a letter, and you can just press that link and it'll take it to like where we can talk. Alright, see you later, bro.